We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob. We in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Izzle on it, only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Hood with the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of In the Studio with Rob. I am Rob.
He is. I checked, guys. They told me. They confirmed. He's Rob.
That's right. And I'm with my man Izzle. What's up, young
skis.
Everything good?
Feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Hey, we're going to talk about something today that I'm pretty sure we're going to disagree a little bit more than normal. We're talking about
that's
gaming,
possible.
Video gaming, and kids. And I know, and again, this is partly my fault, people. I'm going to admit the gaming issue or problem that was that came, like for my son.
Which son?
Probably all of them is my fault, cause I played video games, when they were little, and
Sorry, sir. I have to stop you there. When they were little,
right?
I was well into my teenage years by the time you stopped playing.
But you were little. You were always little.
I wasn't growing by the time I was a teenager.
You didn't grow.
I'd been done by 12.
You've been little forever. So with that,
that hurt. That wasn't worth it. You could have just taken that L and we had to. All right, it's fine. Continue, sir. Continue.
So since my kids have been little, I'm playing and I
He's not playing.
Play. In fact, when they were really the youngest one, I would play video games and they wouldn't even know they wasn't playing. Just give them a controller. They thought they was playing with me. So that's how I kind of got them. So it's my fault.
It is. That cannot be understated. It is his fault.
So, but let me go here though. As they got older, and I got a little bit wiser,
less good at the games.
No, I didn't get less. I stopped playing
because you weren't as good.
No, I was still good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, but anyway, so the problem was what happened was I started listening to my wife more.
Oh, now we blaming her.
It could possibly be a problem or an issue of them always playing the game. So there were restrictions to the game. You can't play during the week. Now, high school was different, but up until then, it was a weekend thing for the kids. And so they played on the weekend, not during the week, so that you wouldn't interfere with school, wouldn't interfere with you going to bed, doing what you had to do. And then you enjoyed it on the weekend. Now, when you got the younger one, when they got into high school, they were so busy with sports and everything. Video game didn't have much space anyway. That was just because of their time. But I think what happens too many times is people use video games with their kids as a babysitter.
Wait, so what was their schedule? What was their schedule?
Couldn't play during the week.
Oh, yeah. Right. They couldn't play during the week.
Yeah.
Okay, so before you move on from that, how do you feel like that affected them as opposed to either before that was implemented or...
No, I think it definitely helped them because they could focus on schoolwork. Mm-hmm. They could focus on doing other things. Because, again, it's no reason to sit in the house because my guy might as well go outside and play because I can't play the game anyway. So it forced them to do other things. And I think that's one of the things that's missing is that our kids are lazy. You got all these lazy fat kids. Why is you got a 10-year-old that don't ever go outside and play? And again, understanding that certain places are dangerous and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But take them to the park yourself as a parent. We took our kids to the park. I went to the park with all my kids. I played with them outside. But you can't allow the video game to raise your child. Now, how you decide to let them play on the games and that's something you got to figure out for yourself. But one of the things I did see, I was reading up on it, and they said that in reality, during school, like a school day, they shouldn't play more than 30 minutes to an hour a day. That's because they need to focus on homework, and then also that you need to stop them from playing at least an hour before they go to bed. Because it is interesting that you have dreams about the stuff you play, especially if you play some of these crazy games. But those things can affect them, their dreams and how they sleep. So you want to make sure they stop playing in order to get some rest. But you have to figure that out. But what I think is a problem sometimes is that we use, like on your phone, parents give their kids the phone early, and they start playing stuff just to keep them quiet. And I get the new technology, so I know, okay, we got all these things on TV, but again, I got 6 kids. None of them had a video game or had a phone, or even though it wasn't phones, they old. But it wasn't do this as opposed to keep them quiet. You deal with your kids, you raise them, you teach them, they learn how to sit still because I say sit still, not because they watching something on their phone or playing a game all the time. Because even then they're not still, their mind is racing. And I think what we do them a disservice at is that we don't allow their mind to ever relax and to regroup and have free thoughts or dreams and aspirations develop for themselves. They taking it from the video game, or they're taking it from the all the TV and things that we put on them, or we allow it to affect them. And it's like, yo, where's your dream? Where's your aspiration? What did you think of? Because and I think what happened is it's different now in a sense, because you can make money as an adult, playing video games if you become good. You can make some money off of it, playing games, playing tournaments, different things. You can make some money. However, people are learning to play games, but not really how to build games. And I think it's like, yo, what are we doing here? Your money is probably more money behind the camera as opposed to in front of it. But all we do is let our kids play and get their fingers working. And it's like, yo, but put it down. Sometimes go outside and run for a little while. Go outside, play with you, meet a friend. All your friends can't be on a computer or just somebody you talk to that you've never met. Because even that's dangerous, because now you think your child talking to another 10-year-old and they are talking to some old man sitting in his basement trying to connect with them. So you really have to be careful how you allow these games to control your household and your kids. And I think, like I said, because I liked the game, but I was an adult playing the games. But I enjoyed it, and I had fun playing with my kids. But we didn't play, back then it wasn't, we on the line playing against each other, playing against strangers. We played with other people coming to the house. We sat there and we played against them.
And I used to smoke this man. Remember?
He living in a fantasy world.
All
but
right,
what we had to do was, it was time to bond. It was, because we talking junk, we had laughing, we having a good time, but we were together. He wasn't somewhere else, and I didn't even know who he was. Mm-hmm. My brother, if they came over for a beating. I would beat them, my son would beat them, and then we sent them home. But we had time together.
Facts.
That's community. That's spending time together. But if all your kids do is play a video game with people they never met, or or never have any physical contact with, meaning, who are these people? That's not always the healthiest way to do things. And I think we have to be careful that we don't guard against our children becoming so addicted to gaming that they forget about life. I need you to go get a job. You can't get a job because as a teenager, I want money to play the games, but you don't want to get a job because you don't want to stop playing the game. So what you gonna do? You gonna keep begging your parents, or you gonna steal, just like a crackhead? It's like, yo, these games are that addictive now. And the difference, like when I grew up, we had, Miss Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, but Atari, all the little Atari asteroids and all that. They were fun, but they wasn't as pretty. This stuff they got is like real. They look so real, it's crazy. It's like, yo, dude, playing basketball look like the player. We created our own players and threw some face on there that didn't look like nothing. But now you can actually throw your face on stuff. So it makes it all so real that you can lose sight of reality. The video game is a toy. It's not reality. It shouldn't be your reality. And so as a parent, you have to protect your kids from that. They don't know. Look, my son, again, 2 years old with a controller in his hand that's not even connected or playing. He just think he playing because he see the stuff running across the screen. They don't know. So it's on me. I have to make sure that I do something for them that they can't do for themselves, which is protect them. I have to protect them from themselves. I have to protect them from my laziness in some cases. I'm lazy because I'm sitting here playing the game with them because instead of doing what I needed to do, which was play with them. So I have to protect them from that as well and say, yo, I'm turning this off. Let's go outside and play. Luckily, I had no problem getting up and going outside playing. They like going outside, running around. So it gave us breaks. But again, these things, too many households, your kids don't even go outside. Your kids don't really have any friends. What friends do your kids have? It's like, oh, they go to school and they see, they go to school. They ain't really have no friends. They go, because again, they don't understand or they're not learning how to build relationships from a computer. That the game can't teach them that. And I know people say, well, it's nothing wrong with, I'm not saying that some of these games, something wrong with them. Because one, they're too violent. And you should be careful not to let a child at such young age see so much violence and death and blood and gore and think it's not going to affect them when they get older. We talk about them having empathy. You can't have empathy if all I see is blood and guts on this video game. I ain't got empathy for nobody no more. Because it's so real. This stuff is like, yo, even back 30 years ago when playing with the kids, it's like, yo, blood splurted out. And they'd be like, yo, that was shock. Now, it's no shock to these kids. But, when it was the game, I really couldn't play this one. The little karate thing with
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
But Mortal Kombat back then was kind of corny if you look at stuff today. Because you had a little
graphics wise, yeah. But it was cutting edge at the time.
Yeah. But now it's like, you probably get, I'm pretty sure if they got a Mortal Kombat out, a new one, it's probably even worse.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to think how that affects kids. And again, especially when you talk about playing this game and then going to bed. What's on their mind? Just like TV. If you're going to let your child watch TV and then they watching a scary movie and they go to bed, they're going to wake up with nightmares. Because it's too much. We got to protect our kids from that. And we got to make sure that adults, we don't get so comfortable that video games and TV and videos become babysitters for us. I'm not saying don't allow your child to watch something on your phone or don't allow your child to play video games. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't allow it to be the parent. You have to continue to be the parent and protect your child from danger. And sometimes danger is on that screen. Sometimes danger is becoming addicted to gaming. That's all they want to do. They can't focus in school. They can't focus at home. They ain't doing their chores. They're not doing homework. All they want to do is play video games. And again, like I said, I think it's a place for all the new technology. There's like, I think, somebody asked me one time, can video games or that type of technology be used in school? I think, of course. You can help keep people, if you're helping kids learn certain things, then I think it's a benefit. But just to play it mind-numbingly, that's a waste of time. Again, entertainment versus addiction. People drink. People go out and they have a drink, right? And they say, oh, I'm just socializing with my friends, have a couple of drinks, and we have a good time going home. But then some people take it too far and they can't stop drinking. They become drunk. They become, they throwing up at home or throwing up out somewhere, wake up the next morning hugging the toilet. And they find out they can't stop because they are addicted. You have an addictive gene. You can't do what everybody else can do when it comes to alcohol. Some people can't do that with video games. So you have to be careful as a parent and monitor your child so that he or she doesn't become addicted. And all they want to do or all they can do is video game. And I think we have to be careful not to allow them to, not to allow the game to raise our child. So, and I think, it's like, I know we got questions. I want to get some of them from the people, but, I just want people to understand, parent, you can't allow things to take your job away as a parent. You can't allow that.
We can get to the questions in a second. However, I've been disagreeing with you in my brain for quite some time now.
I figured you would, video man.
Sir, since I've been a tyke, I've known one thing, and one thing not only because I know mad other things, but that one thing has been gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I watch my daddy game.
Right.
I game with my daddy.
Uh-huh.
I game with my daddy and his brothers.
Right.
We gamed.
Right.
And as far as I know, you grew into a pretty productive member of society.
You did.
You did.
Right.
As have I.
But I was a productive member of society before I was gaming.
All right, true. So we can take you out of it and just
Right.
put me in it because I was not. I was a
Right.
gamer before I was a
Right.
productive member of society. And now I am a productive member of society.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been I did not need that. there hasn't been a situation where we had to stop my gaming or, situations called for muting my gaming or anything like that. Well, it just didn't happen. So,
Well, let me correct you for a second.
Mhm.
There has been times where you were not allowed to game.
correct, but it wasn't because of gaming. It was because of punishment.
Right. But the difference was this is where, and again, this is why I say people have to be careful. I had you doing more than just gaming. We gamed, but we also was outside. We were also talking. You also were very good in school, so it gave you more freedom to do some of the gaming because, and again, but everybody is not you. And this is what I mean about a parent. A parent has to gauge the influence things have over their child that can sometimes become more influenced than they are. The most influence a child should have is his parents, their parent. Their parents should be their biggest influence, especially when they're young. When they get older, things change. But when they're young and impressionable, it should be the parent. But if all I do is allow my child to play games, then I'm not influencing them as much as the game would be. So I have to, and again, every child, people, they're different. So I have to be careful. I'm just saying, be careful, and you monitor that as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you turned out well, and so did the other ones. And I think one plays games. The rest of them really don't play that much. But you and one more. No, the other side. But
No, two of them.
y'all like the really ones that play.
It's levels, yeah. Me and one, and then the other one played a little less.
A little bit,
Yeah, a little bit. And then
they're even with them. There's so many other things that was going on. But I mean, I know kids, and again, related to kids, they don't go nowhere. They don't
True.
need a house. All they do is play video games, and that's all they know. That's all they. It's like, how are you gonna survive? Because again, my job as your parent is to give you a little bit of everything, so to speak, and then let you figure some things out. But you got to be able to survive and take care of yourself off of without just saying all my attention, all my time is totally into this game and into gaming. And again, I agree with you. We played games. We had a ball playing game. But again, I think also the gaming was different it's like if you play games with your sons now, for the most part, y'all sitting in front of the game, y'all laughing, y'all talking, right? And they know you know them. But
No, not really, actually. So we play games now. I'll be on the system, on my system, and then when I'm be in his room,
y'all in
I'm
the same
on
house
system.
or
In the same
something?
house, yeah.
But
not next to each other.
But,
I feel like that is
but when you played, we sat right next to each other.
Right.
And in some cases, you was on my lap. So we were always...
Yo, I was mad young. Like, I don't remember them, Joe.
So
I don't remember those.
We were really close bonding. And so it was more of a bonding time than just a gaming time. And so sometimes you would even say, it's like you could go and play and you'd be like, Dad, come play with me. Because you wanted me to be with you while you were playing. And I said, I want to play. And you said, come watch. So that was time that we had to spend together. And I think what happens is it was never a play the game and leave me alone type of situation. I'm glad they play the game because now I don't have to be involved. And I think too many parents are using gaming to be their substitute. Mm-hmm. And that's where the danger comes in at more than anything else. And that's the fear I have for some of these parents. And again, some of your kids can't handle it. Some of your kids need to do their homework. Some of the kids need to meet real people and learn how to make friends versus playing a video game. So it's a lot that goes into it. So I agree with you. You turned out relatively well.
So no, I was saying that to say, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was saying that to say that I do think more individual assessment is needed when it comes to stuff like that because like I have one son that I feel like he can go ahead just play, and then there's times where he wouldn't say yo turn the game over, go outside, but I feel like that's normal. But the other one, I feel like he gets like so immersed in it. You have to you got to tell him unplug for a little bit because he gets a lot into it. So
yeah.
As far as the desensitization goes, I don't know. I think that it's there, and there's maybe somewhat like the idea of it you're desensitized to. But I feel like if somebody's arm get cut off and blood starts splatting right in front of you, you gonna freak out regardless. I don't feel like Mortal Kombat prepared you for that.
No, I don't say it prepares you for it, but I think it doesn't affect you the same way because you've seen if you see so much blood, whether it's TV, movies, or some of these movies and different, it affects you differently. If all I see is death, while I'm watching and I'm killing everybody and then when people start dying in the street, I don't even shed a tear, even if I don't even shed a tear for their family. I don't care. And when I'm saying it's tear, I don't mean you actually crying, but I'm talking about in your heart. It's like, my heart is broken for the family. My heart is broken that this child is gone. But some of these people they don't even have that empathy to feel anything because they've seen it so often. And again, I'm not saying that's everybody. I'm just saying that there are we need to TV, video games, our news, it has a way of desensitizing people and letting them go through or think things are normal that shouldn't be normal. And that's all I mean by that. But again, everybody's different. So you have to guard, like you say, you got one child that does it this way, one child that, so you have to treat each one differently. And that's why I would say I don't treat my kids the same. All of them they treated differently because I love them the same, but they're gonna be treated differently because they are different. Some need something different from me than the others do. And I think, but paying attention to them helps me understand what that need is. I need to break you away from the game. I can allow you to play, I need to break you away from whatever this is. I can allow you to do this. Or you can do it a little bit more or less. So again, it's understanding the need of your child and then saying, okay, this is how we are going to move forward. And I think too many times we try to treat everybody the same. And, I learned that as a leader at work, all my employees, yeah, y'all get paid the same, but y'all ain't treated the same. Because some people I could talk to and laugh with and clown with, and everything's cool. Some people I couldn't do that with because that's not their personality, and they didn't understand it, and they couldn't handle it. So everybody gets treated this fairly, but everybody don't get treated the same. And I think that's the same way with our children. We have to do that. We have to, more than anything, I have to protect you. My job beyond anything else as a father, I provide for you. I make sure you got food, clothing, and shelter, but protection. And I got to give you some spiritual guidance. These are my core functions as a father. And so therefore, I can't just overlook them and just say, well, the game, go play the game. I'm watching the game. I'm watching the game. You go play the game. Or I don't want to be bothered, so I'm tired. Go play the game. I'm doing this. Go play the game. I'm doing that. Go play the game. No, at some point I'm gonna have to say, okay, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing. I'm gonna come with you. I'm gonna go be with you. I'm gonna either go with you to watch the game or play the game, or I'm gonna watch you play the game, or we gonna go do something totally different, but we're gonna do it together because that's what you need as my child.
Yeah, sometimes I'll go where the boys are. Like if I work overnight, I'll go where the boys are and they're playing the game or something. I'll just lay there while they watch them play till I fall asleep or something.
And that's gonna be something you do because they know you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And even sometimes, some of these, our kids, and sometimes you guys can be, when parents not around, y'all say and do things that y'all wouldn't do when we're around. So sometimes it's good that we there just to keep you in line.
Yeah, right.
It's like, all right, boy.
Just to open one eye, like, who that?
Watch your mouth, watch what you're doing.
Yeah, right.
So, but that's all part of parenting. And so we have to, make sure that we're doing the whole job and not just relinquishing it to TV, to video games, to other people. So what you got, man? What you got from the people?
So, Chamela says, Chamela from Camden, New Jersey.
Okay.
She says, what do you do when kids bring video games into real life?
Ooh. See, again, that's where we talk about them needing a break. Because, again, depending on the age of the child, it's hard for them to separate reality from what they're playing in the game, especially when they're doing it too much. So sometimes what you have to do is, I'm going to have to eliminate this from you right now. Because I need you to understand that this is not real, but you're acting like it is. And again, you've also had people where the kids that got shot because they, again, found a parent gun, and then they end up shooting somebody else because they think they're playing with the video game the same way. I use a gun in a video game and I did this, and no, it's not real. When you shoot your little brother with a gun, in real life he don't get back up and get more power. His power don't go over and he like, okay, he back again. He dead. So sometimes you have to, if your child is bringing those things or thinking it's reality, they need to stop playing. They're not ready for the game that they're playing right now. I'm not saying that you take all the video games away, but they need to go backwards, meaning play some of the lesser games or lesser, not the ones that are not as realistic. They need to start playing those again for a while and stay away from some of these more realistic games because they can't handle that. And again, that's what I mean by every child is different. You may have, again, you can have two kids. They can do the same thing every day. You can treat them, give them all the same stuff. One turn out one way, to another one complete opposite. And you're like, well, what did I do wrong? No, it's not that you did necessarily anything wrong as much as you thought one size fit all. It don't. One size does not fit all. So you have to understand what each child needs and how you protect each child from themselves.
Can video games prepare kids for real world careers?
Yeah, I mean there are careers like playing video games. So if you are a gamer, meaning that you play for money and you're making money off of it, I guess it prepared you for that. But I think the most of the time, the video game, if you're not going to be a professional gamer, then the video game itself, the only other thing it's going to prepare you for is that, okay, I want to make video games. I want to create them. And so that could be a career as well. So there's value in anything. But again, you have to, as a parent, kind of guide your child, because he or she may not see the value. They just see the fun, or they see whatever it is they're doing. So it's like, you play this a lot. You like this? You ever think about how you can make it better? And now you're tapping into their creative mind to think about building games and not just playing them.
This one's from Mela in Camden, New Jersey.
A lot of people in Canada. Ain't nobody else in the world?
They're all Camden, New Jersey, and they all end in Alas.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's weird. It's weird. It's
strange.
definitely weird.
Yeah.
And none of them actually have that same ending spelling. I've gotten a UE, an AY,
Right.
an AH,
AH.
and an M.
Wow.
Not sure how that one worked, but
Okay.
So anyway, are there cognitive benefits to gaming?
I guess in a way, because you're paying attention to a lot of different things at one time. I put it this way. Yeah, because when we play the basketball or the football games, your mind, you got a benefit from, running the plays quickly, you doing certain things, and you throwing to one person, flipping from, holding one button to the next so you can catch the ball and run in. And so I guess there's some value in it, but I think you can get the same value from other things, if not even more, from actually playing football or playing, even jacks. I always tell people, hand-eye coordination, playing jacks was crazy. Helped me a lot. But it's a lot of different ways you can get good hand-eye coordination or strengthening your mind. But they also have video games that will actually help with your cognitive development. If you search out those games, may not be as fun as some of the other ones, but they do have certain games that would help with that. So I think what happens is, as a parent, do your research before you just buy games. Maybe you need to find, if your child seems a little slow, then maybe you find something that can help them in that area.
Yeah, so games offer hand-eye coordination. There's problem solving, depending on what game you're playing. Reading, actually, I overlooked that for a while, but that's reading. Reading is also something that is promoted in gaming, because a lot of them have the subtitles and stuff for when they're talking and stuff, so you kind of don't have a choice but to kind of follow along in a lot of cases. So they're learning and reading it.
Games. I ain't never seen that whenever we was playing. But yeah, that's cool.
They had it when we were playing too.
But that's good to know. So there are some. That's why I say gaming in and of itself is not a bad thing. There's excessiveness to anything that becomes bad. But as a parent, you have to do your job to understand what my child needs, what they don't need, what they can handle, what they can't handle, and how I control how much they play, how often they play, and what they play. I have to control those things. That's my job.
Should schools integrate video games into classrooms?
And I said I think there's a place for it.
Yeah, they do have it. They have it already. Aiden plays games.
I think if you just got him in school playing Madden, then no.
Right.
But there are games that you can play to help them learn. So if if it's a learning tool, you use it as a learning tool, then it's a benefit, and that's what you do. So I think there's a lot of ways that we use tools. We use anything we can to help our children be better. But again, as a parent, do your job. Don't let the TV, don't let the video game, don't let other things raise your children. Raise your child. Be there for your child. Guide them. Set boundaries that would help them grow and develop properly. And so, with that, I hope you guys got something out of that. And I hope you guys will, again, just be careful.
Gaming is life!
Yeah.
I don't even play the game no more. I be so busy.
So again, just make sure you're careful, with your kids. Addictive behavior works in a lot of different ways. Some people are addicted to drugs and alcohol. Some people are addicted to gaming. Some people are addicted to sex. People are addicted to all kind of stuff. So you got to be careful when you're watching your child to guard against them being addicted to gaming or anything else for that matter. So do your job.
Title of this episode is Video Games and Sex.
No, but we're gonna get up out of here for this one. Get carried away with that. Hey, I appreciate you guys listening, and as always, we want you to
Tell people to like and subscribe so we can be rich.
There you go. Not to be rich, but we just want
Richer.
We want to
My
share
fault.
the rich knowledge that we have with others.
Yes, and we all get this paper out here.
So we're gonna get up out of here. Appreciate you guys listening, and we will holler at you soon.
Remember, he is Rob. I just look like him.
Peace.
Studio. We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob. We in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Catch a vibe. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Is alone and only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head top. With the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how he feeling, dog, he might got something to pray. This type of influence that he ain't got to filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.